Amazing.
With no further ado, everybody, the one and only Esther Victoria Toribio is here today. Oh, look at that.
Let's go.
Perfect.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here and being on time. This is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. Thank you for being here. Mental health, mindset, and real estate, okay? But before we begin, I want to share a little bit more about me. Who is the V? Who is Esther Victoria, okay? I have a background in law, 18 years, where half of those years I was an executive assistant for the former mayor of Miami, Mr. Manny Diaz. I was also a former registered licensed mental health therapist intern. I had my own private practice for about 2.5 years, specializing in trauma, sexual abuse, sex therapy, co-occurring disorders. So I did that for some time. I have 2 master's degrees, a master's in counseling psychology and a master's in marriage and family therapy. I am the founder of the V Estates. I have a mega presence on Instagram. I'm also the in-house marketing expert, the team lead, new developments and commercial real estate for the Calderon Estates team under Lux Properties, okay? Now, this webinar is more about you. Why? Because I care for you and I care for your mind. Okay, so this is more of an interactive webinar. At this time, if you have a pen and paper, I want you to write down what is on your mind. And Kevin, if we could go to that slide, please. It's the 3rd one. Perfect. So I want you to take a couple minutes and just write down what's on your mind, okay? By a show of hands, is there anyone that would want to share what's on their mind right now? Your faces. I promise I don't bite. You know, we all have value, we all have worth in this industry. And, you know, what we share is within a safe space here, okay? Does anyone want to share? It's okay. Let me see. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing, Melissa, that you are overwhelmed. Totally okay, totally valid, specifically in this industry, okay? Does anyone else want to share? Okay.
I will share.
Sure.
Okay, I'm Tereska Walters. I'm a realtor. Currently, right now, I guess what's on my mind is just like the stress of trying to balance business and family,
Okay.
relationships with friends and loved ones, the change in the market, and just trying to pretty much keep reinventing myself for this new age of real estate. So
Okay.
that's currently what's on my mind. It's just always trying to balance schedule.
Yes, yes. As agents, we know that that can certainly get overwhelming and time consuming. Thank you for sharing. And then Shante shared here how to increase her business. Totally valid. Agree with you on that. Okay, Erica, she's thankful for her lunch. You know, I haven't had lunch yet. I hope it's delicious. I will share what's on my mind. Okay, okay, Natalie wrote here that she has a to-do list and vented about ethics in the business. Girl, you and me both, okay? And Erica is multitasking. She's not only eating, but she's also driving. Thank you, girl. All right, I'm gonna share what's on my mind, okay? Showings that I have after 4 Brickell and Miami Beach. The challenges I faced today up until this point in getting to 1 p.m. And then the outcome of this webinar. Okay, that's what's on my mind. And the reason why I always like starting with an interactive activity is because are we being mindful in the present moment? Kevin, if you could go to the next slide. I like putting this illustration here because more often than not, our minds are full. They are preoccupied, right? And we're not sitting in the present moment. We're constantly thinking about what's going to happen in 3 hours, what's going to happen at that closing that's taking place next week, what's going to happen with my bank account, what's going to happen with my bills, that we forget about the right now. So I want us all to put everything aside, well, if you're eating, I'll give you a hall pass, but if you're thinking about your business, if you're thinking about your bills, if you're thinking about work-life balance, let's put that to the side right now and let's center in on the right now, on this webinar at this moment. Okay. Kevin, if you could go to the next slide. I always love this question. What is mindset without mental health? We're constantly in this industry, always mindset, positive thinking. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this, we have to do that we forget about our mental health, our brain, our spirit, our soul. The reality of being real as a real estate agent first comes with your mental health. Think about that. Okay. Kevin, next slide. I didn't want to come on here to just give you a few cents about my perspective or whatnot. I always like starting my presentations, my webinars with statistics, because that's the reality, right? Oftentimes we do not like talking about mental health because of taboo, right? Because of, we just are not, it's not a priority. Mental health is not a priority. It's taboo. That's people, mental health is something that people just in the psychiatric ward have to deal with, or whatever the reason is, we do not make mental health a priority. And in this industry, you need to prioritize your mental health. Okay, whether we've been an agent for a month or we've been an agent for 15 years, your mental health, just like you going to the doctor for a physical examination, your brain needs to be taken care of, because our greatest asset in real estate is our brain. Okay. So I did some research upon preparing this webinar. Okay. 65% of real estate professionals have experienced problems with their mental health as a result of stress. This is a very stressful industry. Why? Because 1, we're managing a business. 2, we're providing income for not only ourselves, but our families. And it's constant. You could easily overwhelm yourself, easily burnt out, easily want to throw in the towel. And all of those are a result of you not putting yourself first. Okay. Every 5 real estate employees, statistically, at least 1 has struggled with their mental health, whether it is a severe mental health disorder or it's stress related or depression. Okay. There are a lot of realtors here in South Florida, 60,000 plus. So imagine on a higher scale in the United States. It's a lot. Okay. 80% of United States professionals suffer from work-related stress, according to the American Institute of Stress. Okay. 65% of Americans ages 25 through 44 say that the use of social media has harmed their mental health. Okay. If we are not using our social media to our advantage, we could get sucked up into the comparison factor, the scrolling, and wasting time on social media, not being productive, not making us money. Okay. According to NAR, 87% of real estate agents drop their license after 5 years. I wonder why. This one is it was very enlightening for me. 6.5 thoughts per minute. We're thinking. We're constantly thinking. We constantly have mental noise. We constantly have unwanted thoughts. We constantly have repetitive thoughts. We constantly have limiting beliefs. We are a soul. We are a spirit within a body. And I'm curious to know how many of us are really in tune with ourselves. Emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Or are we just getting by? Okay. This is another one. According to research stats from 2014, I know that was 9 years ago, the real estate industry in the United States has the second highest rate of clinically diagnosed depression. Okay. Have the next slide, please. Of these statistics, professionals, including real estate professionals, reported, okay, fatigue. They were fatigued. They were stressed. They had headaches. They had migraines. They were burnt out. They were overwhelmed. Lack of sleep. They were exhausted, overthinking, worried, had low self-esteem, and had those negative self-talk limiting beliefs. That is a lot. And maybe for some of us, we're sitting with this. We're like, shoot, yep, I'm overwhelmed. Yes, I'm worried. You know what? I have low self-esteem because I've been comparing myself with all the top producing agents on Instagram. I speak negatively about myself. I'm stressed. I could barely sleep. I have insomnia. That's most of us professionals. But it's not until we're actually mindful in the present moment that we're like, okay, this is making sense. What Esther is saying is making sense to me. And that's okay. That is okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be there forever. Okay, it's having an awareness. Kevin, next. Okay. We have experienced the negative self-talk, the unwanted thoughts, the limiting beliefs. What are limiting beliefs? Okay, limiting beliefs is a state of mind, a belief about yourself that restricts you or fixes you in some sort of way. There are false accusations, fear-related thoughts. What is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear will paralyze you internally from moving forward. Okay? Your mind, your mental health needs to be taken care of as a priority in order, okay, to obtain a growth mindset in this industry. It's hard. No one tells you in real estate school that it's a cakewalk. No one tells you that. But the moment you get your license, the moment you interview specific brokerages and you say, okay, I want to work with this brokerage, no one prepares you for the war zone, okay? Specifically in South Florida, okay? But that's okay. We pivot, we grow through our challenges, okay? So in this growth mindset, what does it look like? Because there's a growth mindset and there's a fixed mindset. Oftentimes we're in the fixed mindset, but we want to get to the growth mindset in order to elevate, to scale, to evolve, right? To be all that we were created to be. There's only one of you in this world, okay? Kevin, next. Okay, so I love illustrations. I'm just hands-on, and that's how I grow and learn. The fixed mindset is usually where we're at, okay? The image on the right. A fixed mindset. I can't do this. This work is good enough. It's okay. I'm comfortable. Ah, this is too hard. Oh, I'm not gonna wake up early. What's the point? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna work out today. Yeah, I have 3 hours to kill, but I'm not gonna work out today because regardless, I wanna lose 10 pounds in 10 days. But you know what? I'm not gonna go to the gym today. I feel good, but I'm just not gonna go. So we have been complacent and comfortable in a fixed mindset. And then we wonder why we're not producing, why we're not helping families, right? Because I never want to call a lead or a buyer or a seller. These are people like you and I. Okay? Why we're at this standstill. And oftentimes we're at this standstill because we are not asking ourselves the tough questions. How is my brain? How are my thoughts? How are my feelings? And what am I doing about my mental health in order to acquire that growth mentality, that growth mindset? Okay. A growth mindset is one that will say, I can try a different strategy. You know what? This isn't working for me. Cold calling, prospecting, getting on the phones, calling for sub-by owners, it's just not working for me. So I'm gonna try a different strategy and I'm gonna go door knock. Just say, hi, I'm a local realtor here. I wanted to introduce myself. That's a different strategy to find people that you could help in this industry, okay? Then also, as you're self-aware, right? And as you become more emotionally intelligent, is this really my best work? You are capable of so much. The brain, again, is our greatest asset. And we limit ourselves, but we could do a lot. The top producing agents, people that are just top producers in their industries, they're people like you and I. They have different backgrounds, different upbringings, but something in them caused them to say, you know what, I'm not going to have a fixed mindset. I'm going to have a growth mindset, and I'm going to just scale my business. I'm not going to look to the right. I'm not going to look to the left. I'm going to focus on my lane, on my journey, and I'm going to excel and exceed in my strengths, in my weaknesses. Okay. Another thing is that we need to be kind to ourselves in the growth mindset. This may take some time and effort, and that is okay. For newer agents, it's okay. Go at your pace. Okay. It's easy to compare ourselves. Just focus on yourself, and it's okay to focus on yourself. It's okay to be selfish in that aspect. Okay. So on this next slide, how can we change this, right? Next slide. I love this slide so much. Okay. Take care of yourself. When your mental health becomes a priority, you end up putting yourself first. You get to go to therapy. That is okay. You don't need to have a mental diagnosis to speak to somebody who's going to provide safe space for you to be heard, validated, and supported. I go to therapy. I don't have a mental diagnosis, but I take time throughout the week to speak to a professional who does not know me, who's not going to be biased on what I'm sharing, and it feels good to share. Because imagine all the thoughts that we have in our minds, and we get to share it. Okay? Yes, Shanti, it is needed, absolutely. Maintain active listening skills with your clients. And when I mean clients, with the people, right, that you are helping, with the people that are investing, with the families that are relocating, with the person that just lost their spouse, right? With the person going through divorce, with the person facing some tough challenges, Section 8, not everyone can afford a $5,000 a month rent or a $3,000 a month mortgage. We are people at the end of the day, and everyone needs to be serviced. Everyone is facing some sort of challenge, but you know, God or the universe has gifted us in a way where we just help people. It's a people helping people relationship business, okay? Living intentionally and in the present. Everything that you do in your business, in your personal life, is it with intention, with good motives, okay? Having mental clarity. You're going to stress less. You're going to know your self-worth, not your finances. We're constantly thinking about our commission. How about we take a step back and focus on our self-worth? You are not your finances, okay? We're going to build confidence. We're going to stop comparing ourselves to other agents or other people. We're going to run our own race. We're going to set healthy boundaries. The B word. We don't know that word too often because we're constantly in an industry of like, yes, yes, and more. Do what you can at your pace, okay? Know how to manage your time. If you say, you know what, from 9 to 5, it's just going to be real estate. Before 9, I'm going to work out. I'm going to journal. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to do meditation. After 5, I'm going to be with my family, with my spouse. I'm going to disconnect and not work. It's okay to say no, okay? We're going to understand mindset, okay, when mental health becomes that priority. Okay? Next. What is mindset? So now that we have taken care of our mental health, we can maintain that mental attitude to really scale our business to 10x because we've taken care of our minds. Okay, next. No, it's the one before. I love this little one because we are all that little goldfish. I'm that goldfish, right? But because I have taken care of my mental health, I have the right mindset, the right intentions, the right motives to really exceed in this industry. I've only been an agent for a year and 8 months. Okay? I've been doing real estate full time since February. But I had to take care of my mental health first before even considering leaving corporate America in February, before even considering starting a business. I needed to take care of my mind. Okay? I love this slide, okay, because in this industry, we could just get caught up in the mess. I wouldn't say that real estate is messy, but it can get messy, okay? When our deals die, right, we feel some sort of way, right? Because we've worked really hard and sometimes, you know, the closings don't happen, we lose clients, we live with this specific expectation. Let's not live an expectation and let's just be like, you know what? I'm doing a service to this family. And wherever this goes, whether I close or not, I had the opportunity by God or the universe or however faith platforms you use to help this family. And it was destined by life for you to help this family, whether you close or not. People are always going to buy. People are always going to invest. People are always going to relocate and rent. Okay? Asking yourself why you're in real estate or why you're in this industry is really important. Because if you're in it for the money, yeah, we have to pay bills, but money is anywhere. You could go to Burger King and, you know, make a living there, or you could go to corporate America, or you could go elsewhere, you know, but what is your why? For some people, their why is they want to live financially free. I do. Some people want to retire their parents. Some people want to build learning centers in underdeveloped countries. That's my why. So just asking yourself and being in tune and asking yourself that question is really important. Another thing, not everyone is for you, and that's okay. Okay, so not every family, not every divorcee, not that's okay. We all have different personalities, right? We all have different upbringings. We all speak different languages. And if a client just, I don't want to call them clients, if a person decides not to work with you because maybe they have valid reasons to, that's okay. Okay. Control your emotions. We oftentimes wear our emotions on our sleeves when we are dealing with different people in this industry. Don't take it personal. Okay. You are doing your job as a professional and you do what you can, you know. It's also in the follow-up. Okay. We hear this often, follow-up Friday. We what are you doing in your business to maintain those relationships with the people that you're doing business with? You know, and even if they've ghosted you, right? Just periodically follow up, you know. And then I get often asked this question, well, how often should I be following up? You know, well, put yourself in their shoes. You're a working professional, you have a family, you have bills. How often would you want someone to be checking in on you? For me, I like my boundaries. So you could check in with me twice a week. Me personally, you know. So for me, whenever I follow up with people that I'm doing business with, twice a week. And it's not in like, hey, did you like this house? Hey, hey, how are you? How was your trip to the Bahamas? Did you have a good time? You're building a relationship with people. That's just me. Gonna nurture relationships, right? You're going to also, as you're nurturing these relationships, I want you to ingrain this in your mind. People are not dollar signs. I would hate to be doing business with a realtor or someone in general to see me as like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get me so much commission. Oh my gosh. I never want to be a dollar sign. People are people. They have different needs. And for you, you're providing places for families and people to live and start their lives. Okay. Mastering the art of active listening skills. This is amazing, but this is very, very important. As you're engaging in a conversation in general, whether it's with a person or a family that you're going to be doing business with or colleagues in the industry, if you're having a conversation with somebody, like right now, I'm talking to you and no one's talking. So people are actively listening right now. As we're having that transference or that exchange of words, the way you perceive the way I'm speaking to you in this conversation may be perceived differently. So maybe when I end this conversation, let's say me and you were, Erica, you and I were speaking, you would say, Esther, what I'm hearing you say is this, that taking care of your mind is really important in order to become an effective realtor. And then I would respond and say, you know what? Yes, in summary, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Because oftentimes in conversation, in communication, we interrupt each other when we're speaking. And that's rude. You're not really actively listening. So mastering that skill, very important. I put this one here, call out limiting beliefs, call them out. And really challenge yourself in your mind. Okay, I'm not waking up. What is my excuse? Am I sick? maybe my next showing is not to 1. Ask yourself the tough questions because that's what's going to produce internal growth. Okay. Next, we're almost done. I know this is a lot, but I really want you guys to master mindset in the form of mental health. Okay. I put some of these questions here because you need to take care of yourself. Okay. So everyone that is here, on this Zoom, take time today, 10-15 minutes, and be like, okay, I'm going to chew everything that Esther provided on this webinar, because oftentimes we go to events, we attend webinars, and it's like, yeah, it makes sense, wonderful, but we don't apply what we learned. And then we wonder why we're not growing. And it's like, well, we're overstuffing ourselves with a bunch of events, right? A bunch of speaking engagements, a bunch of webinars, but we're not applying the value or the input that the guest speaker spoke on. Okay. So questions to be asking yourself, we're almost done here. Okay. How are my thoughts? How are my feelings? How am I taking care of myself today in this moment? Have I had a proper meal today? I know Erica's eating. I'm hungry too, girl. Have I had enough water? Have I given myself at least a 15 to 20-minute break to focus on something that's not related to work? When I am in like calling, prospecting, scheduling, just a bunch of things, because obviously like we are in a very competitive business, I know myself and I'm telling myself, okay, Esther, you need to close your laptop and go walk for 10 minutes. And I do that. And I put the phone away because the phone can become a distraction, right? So have I given myself a little break? Have I gotten up to walk in the last hour? We know that walking is really good for your brain. Catching some vitamin D is also good for your brain. Am I giving myself enough time to respond to the people that I'm helping? Or am I like frantic, like, oh my gosh, all of this is going on? And I could attest to that because it's happening to me. I'm at a point in my business where I need to hire a VA. I need to hire a personal assistant. I need to hire showing assistants because I have a lot of clients and a lot of them are my leads. Okay. So I have become a little bit overwhelmed. Full transparency here. Okay. Am I asking for help from others when I need it? That is something that we do not do because of ego, because of pride, because we have this mentality of like, I could do it all. And we really cannot. Okay. Am I still interested in everything I used to be interested in? Very important. Because sometimes some of us wake up in the morning and we're like, man, I really don't want a cold call. I really do not want to be prospecting. I really don't want to be showing. So asking yourself that question is really important. Maybe your strength is in marketing. Maybe your strength is in coaching. Maybe your strength is in mentoring new agents. Maybe it's not in showing homes anymore, and that's okay. Do you feel more irritated, angry, or on the edge than normal? Very important. Am I drinking alcohol more than I used to? People cope different ways, and they cope in unhealthy ways. Alcoholism, drugs, pornography, addiction to whatever it is. It's an addiction. Okay. All right. We are almost done here. 4 key points here. Kevin, the next one. I know this is a lot, but I'm telling you, this is a very meaningful webinar because it means a lot to me and you matter to me. I care about you, although I don't know you. Okay. 4 points. You're going to be kind to yourself. Okay. Oftentimes, we're always maybe extending a hand to our friends or family, and we're like, hey, we're kind to people that we love. But if you put yourself in the people's shoes that we love, are you being kind to yourself? And we're not. What you think about, that you will become. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. Give yourself patience. Give yourself joy. Give yourself your spirit and your mind everything that it deserves. Just like you would to a friend or a family member. You're going to protect your energy. Not everyone is on your same wavelength or same frequency. Okay? Be mindful, be aware. Some people are snakes in this industry. We need to protect ourselves, okay? Be kind to others. You're here to learn, you're here to listen, and then you're going to lead by example and focus on the change within. So pick 2 people that you are inspired by, and whether they live here or they're local, see how you could maybe grab some coffee with them and learn from their example, okay? Or maybe it's someone that passed away. For me, it's God, you know? I follow his footsteps, okay? All right. So now this is going to conclude our session, but I want you to take out that piece of paper again. And I want you to write down what's on your mind right now. All right, who's ready to share here? You know, not for nothing, I'm not wearing earrings today, okay? I feel a little bare. Okay, so if you could maybe share like your face. I'd love to see your face, you know? We often hide behind a camera because of X, Y, and Z, but I'd love to see your faces. Let's go. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here, truly. It means a lot that you're all here. Okay. Does anyone want to share what they wrote? I have 3, but I don't want to go first. Okay, awesome. All right, Shantae, you feel more at peace, confident. Okay, I like that. So working on your self-development. Okay. I'm not sure if this is being recorded, but just send me an email, because this webinar, I don't share it because you know, it's a continuing webinar that I give, but I have it's a 1 sheet page that has the different topics of everything that I covered. And so if you send me an email, I'll write it here. Say, hey, Esther, thank you so much, whatever. And I will send it to you, okay? I'm going to put my email here. Does anyone want to share before we wrap up? Come on, guys. I'm very proud of you that you all showed up here, you know, and said, you know what?
I'm not sure if you hear me. I didn't have the camera before because I was driving and listening, but
Okay.
now I parked. I have been very stressed because I've been working in real estate for 20 years, almost 20 years, and always handle listings, rentals, mostly in the area, Brickell area. And I own my own condo in New Vertica, Brickell, and I always, when I list the apartment, get a lot of leads and my unit rented as soon as possible, and also you know, my clients leads. I have for 2 weeks a apartment for rent there, and also my clients listed, and nobody's calling. Like, I'm really surprised. I don't know if the market is getting slow for the rentals in that area. So I would like to know, because this is making me feel very stressed lately. So things like you cannot control, but I don't know what is happening in the market. So sometimes
Sure.
to other people if they're having any situation like that make you feel stressed?
No, absolutely. Obviously, I could even hear the frustration or stress in your voice.
Yeah.
But just know that that's totally normal. Okay. And then if you could grab my phone number and my email, I'll talk to you after this to
Okay.
guide you through a couple steps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I put my email. All right, guys, before we wrap up, okay? What's on my mind right now is that 36 of you joined this web. 36 souls, 36 minds that are now more mindful about their mental health, right? More mindful about their mindset as they become the agents that they're supposed to become when they have their mental health and mindset aligned. Okay. That's what I'm thinking about. And also, I'm actually going to have boundaries in place and actually take a lunch break. Okay. I have some resources here. Headspace, Calm app, free apps. Open Path Collective is a affordable therapy. We freak out when we have to pay $250, $300 an hour to speak to somebody. Well, Open Path Collective, you pay a fee for a full year, and it's people that are licensed therapists and psychologists whose rates are like $300, it's reduced to $60 an hour if you go to Open Path Collective. Okay. BetterHelp is online therapy. And that's pretty much it, guys. If anyone has questions, Kevin, if you go to the last slide, all my contact information is on there. Let me grab these emails. Okay. Thank you guys so much. This means so much that you guys were here. Truly.
Esther, if it's easier, I can just send you the notes list so you don't have to write them down all right now. It's up to you.
Amazing. Okay, perfect. So if thank you. Yes, my email is right here on this last slide. EVT@theviastates.com. You could also follow me on Instagram @_Esther Victoria. And I respond through messages on there as well. Okay. I do want to say that I do provide on the side mental health and coaching for agents at a very small fee because I'm very passionate, not only about mental health, but I'm very passionate about your brain and your mind and the value that you input in this world. So if anyone ever needs somebody to talk to, I charge a very small fee because at the end of the day, like I said, your mind and just who you are matters. The apps are a Calm app, Headspace, Relax Melodies, BetterHelp is online therapy, and then Open Path Collective is affordable therapy. Some use insurance, some don't, but it's out of pocket anywhere between $45 to $60 an hour. Okay. I think that's it. Sorry?
I just wondered if you were going to send the recording through later or no?
Kevin, I think that's a question for you.
If you were going to send the link with this recording.
Kevin, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, they're asking something about the recording of this.
Yes, I will be sending out the recording of this class next week to everybody who registered.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, again, you could text me, you could call me, email me, just talk to me.
Okay, thank you very much for everything. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Get up on my way.